You're walking down the street, and you spot a penny on the ground. You think, it's just a penny. But what if I told you that one single penny, yes, just one, could be worth up to $4 million? That's right. A tiny copper coin sitting in your pocket right now could change your life forever, but not just any penny. We're talking about the 1964 D. Lincoln penny, one of the most mysterious and highly valuable coins in the world today. And if you have one, you might just be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. So, before you toss another penny into that jar or let it roll under the couch, pay close attention, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot a rare 1964 D penny, why it's so valuable, and, most importantly, how you can cash in big time. Now, let's rewind the clock to 1964. The world was changing fast, Beatlemania was taking over, the civil rights movement was reshaping history, and in the midst of it all, the US Mint was busy producing billions of coins. But something happened that year, something that created one of the rarest and most sought-after pennies ever struck. You see, the 1964 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, but not all pennies from that year were created equal. Some of them, very few, in fact, were minted with rare errors or unique features that make them worth an absolute fortune today. These aren't your average pocket change pennies. These are hidden gems, and collectors are willing to pay millions to get their hands on them. But why? What makes these pennies so special? Well, let's break it down. Some 1964 D pennies have misprints, doubling errors, or off-center strikes, the kind of tiny details that most people overlook. Others were made from rare transitional planchets, meaning the metal composition wasn't what it was supposed to be. And then, there are those elusive proof-like strikes, pennies that look shinier and sharper than your everyday coins. These are the real game changers. Imagine this: you're cleaning out an old drawer, flipping through a dusty coin collection, and suddenly, you spot a 1964 D penny. Your heart skips a beat. Is this the one? Could this tiny piece of copper be worth millions? Before you rush to cash it in, hold on. Because here's where it gets really interesting: the auction records for these rare pennies are nothing short of mind-blowing. Some have already sold for tens of thousands of dollars. But the real jaw-dropper? A nearly flawless 1964 D penny with unique characteristics could fetch up to $4 million at auction. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing money. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but how do I know if I have one of these rare pennies? Great question. Here's exactly what to look for: the D mint mark, located just below the year 1964, this tells you the coin was minted in Denver. No D. Then it's not the one we're after. Look closely at Lincoln's portrait or the lettering. If you see a slight doubling effect, that's a huge sign of value. A regular penny from this year should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is slightly off, it might be struck on a rare planchet, shiny, proof-like surface. If your penny has an abnormally sharp strike with a mirror-like finish, you could have a rare one. Even the rarest pennies won't fetch millions if they're too worn down. Coins in top-notch condition get the highest payouts. Alright, let's pause for a second. Take a deep breath. Check your pockets. Got a 1964 D penny on you? If so, congratulations. You might be holding a goldmine in your hand, but here's where urgency kicks in. Every day, people are cashing in their old coins, unaware that they just gave away a potential fortune. Don't let that be you. If you think you have a valuable 1964 D penny, get it professionally graded immediately. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC can verify its authenticity and give you a true market value. And when it comes to selling, don't just settle for a local pawn shop, unless you want to get ripped off. Auctions, online marketplaces, and professional coin dealers can help you secure the best price for your treasure. Now, before we wrap up, I have one last question for you. What if the next time you found a penny, you picked it up, only to realize it was worth a fortune? Wouldn't you want to know? So, here's what you need to do next. Go check your change, dig through those old drawers, and see if you've been sitting on a hidden jackpot this whole time. And when you do, come back and tell me what you found. Because trust me, you don't want to be the person who gave away a $4 million penny by mistake. Hit that like button if you found this valuable, and don't forget to subscribe for more secrets on rare coins that could make you rich. Until next time, happy hunting. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, but nothing compares to the jaw-dropping reality of a 1976 Lincoln penny selling for an astonishing $3.7 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, one you might have overlooked in your pocket change, could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. But how do you know if you have one? What makes this penny so special? And most importantly, how can you turn an old coin into life-changing money? Stay with me because, by the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge that could lead you to a fortune. Imagine this: you're sorting through an old jar of coins, thinking nothing of it, when suddenly, you spot something unusual. A slight variation, a tiny detail, an overlooked treasure. What if I told you that some people have done exactly that, only to find out they were holding a small fortune in their hands? But here's the catch: most people throw away or spend these rare pennies without ever knowing their worth. And that's exactly what we need to change today. The 1976 Lincoln penny was minted during America's bicentennial year, a time of celebration, history, and hidden treasures. But not all 1976 pennies are worth millions. The key lies in rare mint errors, unique characteristics, and the demand among collectors. Let's break it down so you know exactly what to look for. First, we have the double die obverse error, a mistake at the mint that results in a doubling effect on the inscriptions and Lincoln's image. These errors are rare, but when found in excellent condition, they can command astronomical prices at auctions. Imagine owning a single coin that collectors worldwide are fighting to get their hands on, but wait, there's more. Some 1976 pennies were struck on silver planchets by mistake. These silver-struck pennies are the holy grail of Lincoln cents. Imagine handing a cashier what you think is just another penny, only for it to be a rare silver-struck 1976 worth millions. Let that sink in for a moment. Now, you might be wondering, how do I check if I have one of these rare pennies? Simple. Grab a magnifying glass, check for doubling in the text, and weigh the coin. A regular penny weighs 3.11 grams, but if yours weighs slightly more or less, you might have something truly special. And here's a quick tip: if a magnet sticks to it, put it down. It's not the rare one you're looking for. At this point, you're probably feeling a mix of excitement and urgency. What if you've already spent one of these coins? What if one is hiding in your piggy bank right now? This is why it's crucial to check every 1976 penny you come across. And here's something even crazier: just last year, an unsuspecting collector found one in a random roll of pennies from the bank. That's right, a few dollars worth of change turned into millions. Think about that the next time you get coins back from a store. Now, let's talk about how to sell one if you're lucky enough to have it. First, don't rush to just any buyer. Scammers are everywhere, and they love targeting people who don't know the true value of their coins. Instead, get your penny professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, two of the most trusted coin grading services in the world. A graded coin not only confirms authenticity but also increases its value in the market. Once your coin is graded, the next step is finding the right auction house. Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Great Collections are known for handling rare coin sales and attracting serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. The key here is patience, because the right buyer could mean the difference between thousands and millions. Before we wrap up, let me ask you, have you checked your pennies lately? Because if not, you might be sitting on a goldmine without even realizing it. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that a simple penny in your drawer is worth more than your house. Sounds crazy, right? But it's happened before, and it can happen again. So here's what you need to do: go check your pennies, look for these rare characteristics, and if you find something suspicious, get it verified. And if you want to learn more about valuable coins that could be hiding in plain sight, make sure to watch my next video, where I'll reveal even more hidden treasures worth a fortune. Don't miss it, your next big discovery could be right in your pocket. The question is, are you paying attention? A single penny that could change your life forever. A penny so rare and valuable that it could be worth up to $3.5 million. Sounds like a dream, right? But what if I told you that this dream could become your reality? In this video, we're diving deep into the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, why collectors are going crazy over it, what makes it worth a fortune, and most importantly, how you could be holding one right now without even knowing it. Let's be real. How often do we pay attention to pennies? Most of us toss them in a jar, drop them between car seats, or even ignore them when we see them on the ground. But what if I told you that one of these little copper coins could be the key to financial freedom? Sounds ridiculous, right? Well, stick around, because by the end of this video, you might start seeing your spare change in a whole new light. To understand why this penny is making headlines, let's take a trip back to 1977. That year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. But here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies were struck without a mint mark, and a rare few were produced with an extraordinary error that makes them highly sought after by collectors. These error coins can fetch thousands, even millions, at auctions. But why? What makes them so special? Before we answer that, let's test your luck. Have you ever found an old coin in your pocket and thought, maybe this is worth something? If you have, drop a comment below. Who knows, you might just be sitting on a fortune. Now, let's talk about the key features that make the 1977 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth a potential $3.5 million. First, its composition. Most 1977 pennies were made of copper, but some were mistakenly struck on a different metal planchet. This error makes them incredibly valuable. Second, the condition of the coin matters. A near-perfect penny with full details and no damage can skyrocket in value. And finally, the demand. Coin collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for unique and rare pieces, making this penny one of the most sought after in the numismatic world. But wait, how do you know if you have one? Simple. Grab a magnifying glass and inspect your 1977 penny. If there's no mint mark, you might be in luck. But to truly verify its value, you'll need a professional appraisal. And here's where it gets even crazier. Some of these pennies have been mistakenly sold at flea markets or in loose change jars for just a few cents, only to later be discovered as multi-million-dollar treasures. Imagine the regret of letting one of these slip through your fingers. Now, let's talk money. How much are collectors actually paying? Recent auctions have seen these rare pennies sell for jaw-dropping amounts, one reaching a record $3.5 million. But even if your penny isn't the ultimate jackpot, some 1977 no-mint mark pennies still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and rarity. So, it's time to start checking your coin stash. You never know what you might find. By now, you're probably wondering, what if I actually have one of these pennies? What do I do next? Here's your game plan. Get your coin authenticated by a professional grading service. The last thing you want is to sell it for way less than it's worth. Once verified, you can list it at major auction houses, online marketplaces, or even sell directly to collectors. Let's take a quick pause. Imagine holding a penny in your hand, knowing it could make you a millionaire overnight. Feels surreal, right? But this isn't just some fantasy. This is real, and it's happening to people who least expect it. The only question is, will you be next? So, if you're serious about finding and selling rare coins, don't stop here. There are even more valuable coins hiding in plain sight, and I'll reveal them in my next video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Because your next big payday might be sitting right in your pocket right now. Stay tuned. But hold on to your seats, because today we're uncovering the shocking truth about the 1979 Lincoln penny, one of the most valuable pennies in existence. If you've ever doubted that spare change could make you rich, this video will change everything. Let's dive into the mystery of the 1979 D penny and find out if you might be sitting on a hidden fortune. First, let's talk about what makes this coin so valuable. Not every 1979 D penny is worth millions, but a rare few are, and you need to know what to look for. In 1979, the Denver Mint produced millions of these pennies, but some had critical errors that skyrocketed their value. One of the biggest reasons these coins command high prices is because of rare minting mistakes, things like double dies, off-center strikes, and even transitional errors. Collectors go absolutely wild for these. Why? Because errors mean rarity, and rarity means big money. Some of these flawed pennies have sold for thousands, even millions, at high-profile auctions. Now, before you run to check your penny jar, let's break down exactly how to identify these valuable coins. Alright, you've got a 1979 D penny in your hands. How do you know if it's worth a few cents, or a life-changing fortune? Here's what you need to check. First, look closely at the mint mark. If it appears doubled or slightly misaligned, congratulations, you might have a double die penny, which can be worth thousands. But that's not the only sign. Another key feature: the weight. Some of these pennies were mistakenly struck on a copper planchet instead of the usual zinc-coated steel. If yours weighs about 3.1 grams, you could be holding gold. Well, figuratively speaking, still not sure. Flip the coin over and examine Lincoln's memorial. Any misalignment, doubling, or other oddities could mean you're looking at a highly coveted collector's item. But wait, before you get too excited, let me tell you why some people end up throwing away a fortune without realizing it. Here's the heartbreaking truth: people toss out these rare pennies every day because they don't know what they're worth. Imagine finding a coin that could change your life and accidentally using it to buy a pack of gum. Ouch! And get this, just last year, a nearly flawless 1979 D Lincoln penny sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $3.2 million. Can you imagine the seller's reaction? One simple coin, and they walked away a millionaire. But here's the kicker: there are still more of these pennies out there. Some could be hiding in old coin collections, stuck in a jar, or even sitting in your pocket right now. So, what do you do if you think you have one? Simple: get it professionally graded. Coin grading services can authenticate and evaluate your penny, ensuring you don't unknowingly give away a small fortune. Now, let me ask you this: how many pennies do you have lying around right now? Because by the end of this video, you'll be rushing to check every single one. The clock is ticking. Rare coins like these are becoming harder to find, and collectors are paying more than ever to get their hands on them. That means the time to check your pennies is now. Don't let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slip through your fingers. Your next trip to the coin jar could turn into the biggest payday of your life. So, before you go, tell me, do you think you might have one of these rare 1979 D Lincoln pennies? Drop a comment below and let's see if you could be the next big winner. And remember, subscribe for more insider coin secrets that could put money in your pocket. Your fortune could be just one penny away. You ever hear a story so unbelievable, you have to check your own pockets just to make sure you're not sitting on a fortune? Well, this is one of those stories. Right now, there could be a 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny sitting in an old jar, a dusty drawer, or even jingling in your car's cup holder, worth up to $3 million. Yes, you heard that right. $3 million. Pause for a second. Imagine what that kind of money could do for you. Pay off your house. Retire early. Travel the world. And all from a penny most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up. But here's the kicker: most people have no idea what to look for, and they end up spending these rare pennies like they're worthless. The truth is, this coin is hiding in plain sight, and today, I'm going to show you exactly how to find one and cash in on its insane value. So don't go anywhere, because by the time you finish this video, you might just be a millionaire without even realizing it. Now, let's break this down. What makes the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? First, it's a printing mistake. A rare error. A tiny flaw that turns an ordinary coin into a jackpot. The 1988 penny with no mint mark should have been stamped with a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But some weren't. And that's where things get interesting. Collectors go crazy for these kinds of errors. In fact, the demand for rare pennies has skyrocketed in recent years, driving up their value to jaw-dropping numbers. And let's be honest, coin collectors are some of the most passionate and competitive buyers out there. They're willing to spend millions just to get their hands on a one-of-a-kind piece of history. The rarer the coin, the higher the price. And this 1988 penny? It's one of the rarest, but how do you know if you have one? And more importantly, how do you sell it for the maximum price? Stay with me, because in just a moment, I'm going to reveal exactly what you need to do next. Now, before you rush to dump your piggy bank all over the floor, let me tell you what to look for. Take any 1988 penny and inspect the area right below the date. If there's no tiny letter, no D, no S, then congratulations, you might be holding one of the rarest pennies in existence. But here's where most people mess up. They sell their coins too fast, to the wrong buyers, for way less than what they're actually worth. Don't be that person. The key to cashing in big is knowing where and how to sell it. Auction houses. Professional coin dealers. Online marketplaces where serious collectors are willing to outbid each other just to own a piece of history. And let's not forget grading. Getting your penny professionally graded can multiply its value overnight. A certified, high-grade 1988 no-mint mark penny could be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions, of dollars. So here's your next step. Check your coins. Look for the missing mint mark. And if you find one, get it appraised immediately. This is not just some old penny. This is life-changing money hiding in plain sight. Now, imagine what happens if you ignore this and accidentally spend it on a cup of coffee. You just gave away a multi-million-dollar fortune for $3. Don't let that happen to you. Check your change. Your next fortune could be sitting right in your pocket. The 1964 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, just a common penny, right? Wrong. What if I told you that one of these simple copper coins could be worth up to $5 million? Yes, you heard that right. And if you've got a jar of old pennies sitting in your house, you might just be holding a life-changing fortune without even knowing it. But before you go digging through your change, let me explain why this coin is so valuable, and how you can tell if you have one of these rare and highly sought-after treasures. Because trust me, the difference between a regular 1964 penny and a multi-million-dollar one is just a small detail most people completely overlook. So, what makes this penny worth so much? Let's take a step back to 1964. The U.S. Mint was striking Lincoln pennies in huge numbers. At first glance, these coins seem ordinary. They have the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But here's the secret. Some of these pennies were struck using experimental materials or unique die varieties, making them incredibly rare. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly should you be looking for? Well, some of these high-value 1964 pennies have specific errors that send collectors into a frenzy. Double die obverse, off-center strikes, or even rare metal compositions, all of these can turn an everyday penny into a collector's dream. And here's where things get even crazier. The current market for rare coins has skyrocketed. Collectors are paying record-breaking amounts for rare pennies like these. In recent auctions, some 1964 Lincoln pennies have sold for thousands, and a few have gone for millions. That's right, a single penny, worth more than a luxury mansion. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how do I know if I have one? Great question. The first thing you need to do is grab a magnifying glass. Yes, really. Inspect your 1964 penny closely. Look for doubling on the letters or numbers, a missing mint mark, or any unusual features. If your penny looks different from a regular one, you might be sitting on a gold mine. But here's the catch, many people throw away valuable pennies every single day, not realizing what they had. Imagine the regret of finding out you tossed a multi-million-dollar coin into a Coinstar machine. That's why you need to check every single one carefully, and if you think this is just a lucky break, think again. Plenty of people have discovered rare coins in their everyday pocket change. The key is knowing what to look for and where to sell them. So, where can you sell a rare 1964 penny? You have options. Online auction sites, coin dealers, and even private collectors are willing to pay big money for these rare finds. But here's my warning: never sell to just anyone. Some buyers will try to lowball you, and you could lose out on thousands, even millions, if you don't know your coin's true value. Now, before we wrap up, here's the million-dollar question: could you be sitting on a rare 1964 penny worth up to $5 million? The only way to know is to check your coins. Don't make the mistake of assuming it's just another penny. And if you want to learn more about rare pennies and how you can turn pocket change into a fortune, make sure to subscribe and check out my other videos. Because your next big payday might be hiding in plain sight. Imagine walking into a pawn shop, handing over a simple penny, and walking out with enough money to retire. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what could happen if you find this rare 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny in your collection. One of these pennies has been valued at an astonishing $4.7 million, and yet, most people don't even know it exists. What if you've been spending or tossing away a fortune without realizing it? Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to identify this rare coin, why it's so valuable, and how you can turn it into serious cash. Let's rewind a bit. The 1975 Lincoln penny, just another coin, right? Wrong. While millions of these pennies were produced, some rare errors and variations have made a select few worth an absolute fortune. The catch? They look almost identical to the pennies sitting in your spare change jar right now. So why is this penny so special? The answer lies in a combination of historical minting errors, limited surviving specimens, and demand from collectors willing to pay shocking amounts for the perfect piece. And here's where it gets interesting: some of these pennies have no mint mark, meaning they weren't stamped with the typical D for Denver or S for San Francisco. That tiny missing detail could mean a life-changing windfall. You might be thinking, alright, but how rare can it really be? Well, let's just say finding one is like hitting the jackpot, twice. But before you start checking every penny under your couch cushions, let's talk about how you can spot the real deal. Now, don't go grabbing a magnifying glass just yet, we need to go step by step. First, check the date. It must be from 1975. That's step one. But here's the crucial part: look just below the date. If there's no small letter D or S, you might be holding a goldmine. Now, here's where things get tricky. Not every 1975 no mint mark penny is worth millions. Condition is everything. Coins that are in near perfect, uncirculated condition with no scratches, dents, or discoloration fetch the highest prices. We're talking about coins that look like they were minted yesterday. The best way to verify? Get it graded by a professional coin grading service, because one tiny detail could be the difference between pocket change and early retirement. And just when you thought things couldn't get crazier, let's talk about the most expensive sale of one of these coins. A collector, driven by pure passion, once paid $4.7 million for a flawless 1975 no mint mark penny. Yes, you heard that right, millions for a coin most people wouldn't think twice about. Why? Because rarity, demand, and historical significance drive prices into the stratosphere. Now, let's be real for a second. Not every 1975 no mint mark penny will fetch millions. Some might go for a few hundred, others for thousands. But the fact remains, you could be sitting on a coin worth more than your car, your house, or even your entire retirement savings. So, what should you do next? First, start searching through your change. Every coin, every drawer, every old piggy bank. You never know what's hiding in plain sight. Second, if you think you found something valuable, don't rush to sell it for pennies on the dollar. Get it graded, get it appraised, and make sure you're dealing with serious buyers. Now, let me ask you something. What if the key to your financial freedom has been sitting in your pocket this whole time? The difference between knowing and not knowing could be millions of dollars. So don't just sit on this information, check your pennies, share this video with others who might have won, and keep learning about the hidden treasures in everyday life, because in the world of rare coins, fortune favors the informed. And who knows? Your next lucky find might just be the jackpot you've been waiting for. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe for more rare coin discoveries that could change your life. You might want to check your pocket change right now, because lurking in your loose coins could be a 1978 Lincoln penny worth up to $4.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. One tiny, unassuming coin could be the key to financial freedom. But here's the kicker, 99% of people don't even realize they have it. So, before you accidentally spend a fortune on a cup of coffee, let's uncover the shocking truth about this rare penny's insane value and how you can cash in. Now, I know what you're thinking, why on earth would anyone pay millions for a 1978 penny? Great question. The answer lies in minting errors, rarity, and collector demand. When the US Mint produces coins, mistakes sometimes slip through the cracks. And when they do, that's when the value skyrockets. Imagine this, you're rummaging through an old coin jar, and suddenly, you notice a 1978 penny that looks different. Maybe it has a bold, doubled image or a minting flaw that sets it apart. Well, congratulations. That penny could be worth more than your house. But how do you know if yours is valuable? First, let's break down the key factors that make this penny so special. The D Mint mark mystery. The 1978 penny was struck at the Denver Mint, but some coins have errors like misaligned strikes, double dies, and off-center prints. These tiny imperfections are what collectors go absolutely crazy for. One such penny, with a dramatic double die obverse, recently fetched millions at auction, the ultra-rare off-metal strike. Here's where it gets really exciting. Some 1978 pennies were mistakenly struck on the wrong metal planchet, like a silver dime planchet instead of a copper one. These errors are so rare that when one is found, it can sell for astronomical prices. High-grade condition is key. Not all 1978 pennies are created equal. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A pristine, uncirculated penny with a rare error could turn a casual collector into an overnight millionaire. But how do you really know if yours is valuable? Well, let me ask you this. When was the last time you checked your old piggy bank, that forgotten drawer, or even under the couch cushions? Because right now, sitting in your house, could be a small piece of copper worth millions. And if you think this sounds too good to be true, just ask the lucky person who recently auctioned off a similar penny for over $4.50 million. Now, before you rush to dump out every coin jar in sight, let's talk about the biggest mistakes people make when trying to sell rare coins. This is crucial, because one wrong move could mean the difference between striking it rich and losing out on a once-in-a-lifetime payday. Mistake number 1, cleaning your coin. Do not, under any circumstances, clean your penny. Even the tiniest scratch or polish can destroy its value. Collectors and auction houses only want coins in their original, untouched condition. Mistake number 2, selling to the wrong buyer. Many pawn shops and coin dealers will try to lowball you. If you're not careful, you might sell $1 million penny for a measly few bucks. The best way to get top dollar? Work with a reputable auction house or a professional numismatist. Ignoring professional grading, you might think your penny is valuable, but without an official grade from PCGS or NGC, buyers won't take you seriously. A certified, high-grade error penny can multiply in value by tens, or even hundreds, of thousands of dollars. So now, you know what to look for. But the burning question remains, how do you find out if you have the golden ticket? First, grab a magnifying glass and check for the telltale signs, a bold double image on Lincoln's face, an off-metal strike, or any unusual characteristics. If you spot something suspicious, don't panic, get it evaluated by a professional. Because in the world of coin collecting, one lucky find can change your life forever. Now, before you go on a treasure hunt through your spare change, here's one last thing to consider. How many of these rare pennies are still out there, just waiting to be found? Could you be the next person to uncover a $4.5 million jackpot? The only way to know is to start looking, before someone else beats you to it. Your pocket change and finding a single penny worth a life-changing fortune. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that a rare 1979 Lincoln penny has sold for a jaw-dropping $4.2 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single coin that could turn you into a millionaire overnight. So, what makes this penny so special? And how can you find one hiding in plain sight? Stick with me until the end because what I'm about to reveal might just change your life forever. Back in 1979, millions of pennies were struck at the Denver Mint. But not all of them were created equal. Most are worth just 1 cent, but a select few contain a rare and shocking error, an error so valuable that collectors are willing to pay millions to own it. But before I reveal what makes these pennies so insanely valuable, let's take a step back and understand why some pennies become worth a fortune while others stay worthless pocket change. Now, if you're thinking, come on, it's just a penny. How valuable can it really be? You're not alone. Most people overlook these tiny pieces of copper. But let me tell you, numismatics, the study and collection of coins, is no joke. Serious collectors will pay top dollar for rare finds, and in some cases, they'll pay millions. And that brings us to the 1979 Lincoln penny that turned an everyday person into an overnight millionaire. So, what's the deal with this particular coin? Well, the key factor is an extremely rare mint error known as the double die obverse. This means that during production, the coin's design was accidentally stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the date and lettering. If you find one of these in your possession, congratulations, you may be holding a ticket to unimaginable wealth. But wait, before you start digging through your coin jar like a mad scientist, there's more you need to know. Condition plays a crucial role in a coin's value. A heavily worn penny might only fetch a few $100s, while one in pristine, uncirculated condition could be worth thousands or even millions. And if you think grading doesn't matter, imagine trying to sell a beat-up sports car for the price of a brand new luxury model. See the difference? Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have the right penny? Here's what to look for. First, check for a strong doubling effect on the date, especially the number 9. Second, examine the D mint mark. Some rare variations show an unusual placement due to a repunched mint mark error. If you spot these signs, you might be sitting on a gold mine. But here's where things get even crazier. Some of these rare 1979 pennies have ended up in circulation. That means they could be hiding in your pocket, your couch cushions, or even the cash register at your local store right now. And if you're still skeptical, let me remind you, someone once cashed in a penny for $4.2 million. That's not a typo. At this point, you might be feeling a mix of excitement and urgency. And you should. Because while rare coins are still out there, they're disappearing fast as collectors snatch them up. The longer you wait to check your coins, the slimmer your chances of finding one. So after this video, grab your change jar and start searching. Your financial future might be hiding in plain sight. And before you go, here's something even more shocking. There are other rare pennies worth even more than this one. Want to know what they are? Stick around, because in my next video, I'm revealing the most valuable pennies ever discovered. Don't miss it. Finding a penny in your pocket and realizing it's worth more than your house. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today, we're uncovering the shocking truth about the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny, an ordinary-looking coin that could be hiding in your change, worth up to $4 million, and guess what? If you don't check your pennies, you could be throwing away a fortune without even knowing it. Most people assume all pennies are worthless. A penny is just a penny, right? Wrong. The 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest and most valuable coins in circulation today. But why? Well, here's the shocking part. Most pennies from 1988 were produced at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. But a few coins left the mint without a crucial detail, the mint mark. This tiny mistake transformed an ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And here's where it gets even crazier. Collectors and investors are scrambling to get their hands on one. Some have already been sold for jaw-dropping amounts. But how do you know if you have one? And how much is it actually worth today? Stay with me because what I'm about to reveal next will change the way you look at your spare change forever. Now, let's talk money. A verified 1988 no-mint mark penny in pristine condition has sold for up to $4 million at auction. Even lower-grade versions have fetched thousands of dollars. That's right, you could be sitting on a life-changing fortune without even realizing it. So, how do you know if you have one? Here's what to look for. First, check the date, 1988. Second, look beneath the date. If there's no mint mark, not a D for Denver, not an S for San Francisco, and not even a P for Philadelphia, then you might have a winner. Third, inspect the coin's surface. The rarer, higher-value pennies often have a clean, well-preserved appearance, and before you rush to the nearest pawn shop, wait. Because not every 1988 penny without a mint mark is valuable. There's a secret detail you must check before selling, and if you miss it, you could lose millions. I'll explain in just a moment, but first, quick question, have you ever accidentally spent a valuable coin? Let me know in the comments. Here's the key detail that separates an ordinary 1988 penny from a multi-million-dollar jackpot. The reverse design that in 1988, the U.S. Mint was transitioning to a new die design for Lincoln cents. Some pennies accidentally received the 1989 reverse design instead of the 1988 design. This tiny difference, invisible to most people, is the reason collectors are paying insane prices for these rare coins. So, how do you confirm this? Take a magnifying glass and look at the letters FG on the back of the coin, near the Lincoln Memorial. If the letters are spaced differently than the standard 1988 version, you're in luck. Now, if you think you have one, do not sell it to just anyone. You need to get it authenticated and graded by a professional coin service like PCGS or NGC. This could be the difference between getting a few $100 or millions of dollars. So now you know, the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be hiding in your home right now, waiting to turn you into a millionaire. Will you be the next person to discover one? Check your pennies, get them graded, and who knows, you might just be sitting on a fortune. Don't forget to subscribe because I'm revealing more hidden treasures that could be worth millions in your collection. And before you go, tell me in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Single penny in your pocket, and realizing it's worth $3.2 million. Sounds like a dream, right? But what if I told you this dream has already come true for someone? And the crazy part? You might have the same exact coin without even knowing it, the 1990 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It's a tiny copper treasure that has sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. One of these coins sold for a jaw-dropping $3.2 million, and the demand for them has never been higher. But here's the problem, most people don't even know what to look for. And that means, right now, rare pennies like this could be slipping through fingers, tossed into spare change jars, or worse, lost forever. Think about it, how many times have you spent a penny without a second thought? What if one of those was worth millions? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly how to spot this rare penny, why it's so valuable, and most importantly, how you can turn a simple coin into life-changing money. Let's break this down. The 1990 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is an error coin. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia have a small P mint mark. But in a rare printing mistake, some 1990 pennies were struck without it. That little missing letter. It's the key to unlocking a fortune. Now, here's where it gets exciting. The last time one of these rare pennies went to auction, collectors went absolutely wild. Prices soared past the seven-figure mark, and experts predict these pennies could become even more valuable as time goes on. Why? Because rarity drives price. And let me tell you, these pennies are disappearing fast. Coin collectors and dealers are hunting them down, trying to grab them before the public catches on. You might be wondering, how do I know if I have one? Well, grab your change jar, because here's what to check. Now, check under Liberty, is there a tiny mint mark? If there isn't, you might be holding a goldmine. Finally, examine the condition. The better the shape, the higher the value. A pristine coin can command millions, while even a slightly worn one could still be worth thousands. At this point, I know what you're thinking. Wait. Did I just throw away a fortune at the grocery store checkout yesterday? Hey, don't panic, but maybe it's time to start paying a little more attention to your pocket change, and let's be real, what would you do with $3.2 million? Pay off debts. Buy a dream house. Travel the world. That's not just life-changing money, it's generational wealth. But here's the kicker, time is running out. As more of these coins are discovered, their value could shift. The sooner you act, the better your chances of cashing in. So, don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Check your coins, because the next rare penny jackpot could be hiding right in your hands. And if you want to learn about more rare coins that could make you rich, make sure to subscribe, because I'm uncovering even more million-dollar pennies that could be hiding in plain sight. Who knows? Your fortune might be sitting in your pocket right now. Pulling out a simple penny, and realizing it's worth up to $3 million. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that one small detail on a 2000 Lincoln penny could make you an instant millionaire? Keep watching, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover exactly what to look for, and why collectors are scrambling to get their hands on this rare coin. And hey, before you toss that change jar aside, ask yourself this: what if you've been holding on to a fortune without even knowing it? Most people overlook their pennies. They think it's just 1 cent. But let me tell you a secret, sometimes a penny isn't just a penny. In the year 2000, something unusual happened at the US Mint. Some Lincoln pennies were struck without a mint mark, and today, they're turning heads in the numismatic world. Now, you might be thinking, so what? A missing mint mark, big deal. But here's where it gets interesting. Certain error pennies from 2000 have sold for mind-blowing amounts. And the biggest reason? Demand. Coin collectors and investors are willing to pay premium prices for unique and rare errors, and if you're wondering how much these pennies could actually be worth, just wait. You're about to find out why some of these coins have fetched 6 and even 7-figure sums at auctions. So what makes this penny so valuable? Let's break it down. The missing mint mark mystery. Most 2000 pennies should have a small letter D or P below the date, indicating where they were minted. But some were struck without one. If you have a 2000 penny without a mint mark, you could be sitting on something rare. High-grade rarity. The condition of the coin drastically impacts its value. A circulated one might fetch hundreds, but an uncirculated, high-grade version. That's where things get wild. Auction records don't lie. Just recently, a rare 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny sold for over $1.5 million, and experts believe an even rarer variation could hit the $3 million mark soon. That's right, a tiny, overlooked penny could be worth more than a mansion. Now, before you go frantically dumping your coin jar onto the floor, let's talk about the real game changer: how to identify and sell one of these valuable pennies. Check your pennies now. Go through your coin collection, your piggy bank, even that old coffee can full of change. Look at every 2000 Lincoln penny under a bright light and check for no mint mark. Get a professional appraisal. If you think you've got the real deal, don't guess. Take it to a professional coin grader or numismatic expert. A tiny scratch or flaw could mean the difference between $1 million payday and just another penny. Sell it the right way. You don't want to undersell your fortune. Top collectors and auction houses are constantly on the lookout for these rare pennies. Sites like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers can help you get the maximum value for your coin, and here's where it gets urgent. The value of rare coins fluctuates, and with every new record-breaking sale, more people are searching for these hidden treasures. That means the window of opportunity is closing fast. So, the big question is, do you have one of these million-dollar pennies hiding in plain sight? If you're serious about turning pocket change into a fortune, now is the time to act, because let's be real, what would you do if you found a $3 million penny? Would you buy a new house? Travel the world? Or just laugh at all the times you ignored pennies on the sidewalk? Don't wait until it's too late. Go check your coins right now. And if you want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos that could make you rich. Your fortune could be sitting in your pocket, and you don't even know it. Go find out now.